Sweated to the truth, nothing but the truth. Put my hands on the Bible, y'all point me to the booth. Sweated to the truth. Yo, new season, new colors, new merch, new swag. Go over to Imago Day Apparel Shop and get in your bag with our latest gear. I promise you won't be disappointed. Rep the kingdom, I rock in his image. Every order and purchase goes into helping me bring you better content. And so every order and purchase is greatly appreciated. We thank you for the support, and as always, peace and love.
And all purchases, proceeds, donations, giving, all that goes to helping me bring you better content. So you all are greatly appreciated. But what's going on, man? We got a good one for you all today, bro. So we got John Legend, who gives us his thoughts on Donald Trump. He says that he's a racist down to his core. Now, I honestly don't know where, I'm not going to say I honestly don't know, because I do. But if these people truly believe what they say, I don't know where they getting that from, but I do. It's the media. But without further ado, let's tap in.
He's made it clear throughout his life that he believes black people are inferior. Like he believes that to his core, in his bones. He wouldn't let us live in his buildings back in the day. But also, when you hear some of the stray comments he makes, he clearly believes in a genetic hierarchy of humanity, and is racially determined. So he is a tried and true, like dyed in the wool racist. Like in the core of his being, he's a racist. So I don't want to hear what he has to say about what he's done for black people. He's done very little for us. And he is at his core truly a racist. And you even hear what he says about immigration and what countries he wants people to come in from. They all are very white.
That is true. That's something pretty universal about them. So I know you were active on the campaign trail in 2020. You have a lot on your plate. Are you going to be out there campaigning for Joe Biden this fall?
Yeah, we'll get out there probably later in the year as it gets close to people making decisions about when it's time to vote. I think the choice is very clear. There's a lot been said about age and all these other things. Both of them are old, but one of them is a really decent man who's done a lot to improve lives in this country, and that's Joe Biden. That's who I'm going to be voting for, and I'll be out there supporting him.
It just never made sense to me, bro, or added up how Donald Trump took pictures with all of these people, even before I was born. So many people supported him, and he supported so many blacks. Even the NAACP was riding with this man. And if anybody can spot out racism, you would think it would be black folk. And you telling me that nobody was able to see that this man was racist before he ran for president? Bro, I don't get that. I don't get that, and I don't understand that, bro. And what's even crazier for me again is that, bro, people love this man. They absolutely love this man, bro. I'm talking about, you know, his name has been said in over 300 rap songs in the past 30 years, bro. So I just don't understand how people can believe this narrative that the media is pushing. All it takes is for you to do a little research, for you to do a little bit of research, for you to find out that this man did not seem to be racist. This man is in the picture with Rosa Parks and Muhammad Ali. Again, if anybody can spot out racism, you better know it's black folk. And nobody said that he was a racist up until 2016. But what's even funnier is all of the people that he took pictures with and supported, well, I won't say all, but majority of them, are the same exact ones that's calling him racist now. But what people fail to realize, though, the same stuff that he's saying today in regards to policy, in regards to how America should run, he was saying the same stuff then. This man literally went on Oprah's show and said the same stuff then, and this when he was 42, that he's saying today. And that's when the media loved him. And again, he was saying the same exact thing. So what changed? But I'm going to play that clip just to prove what I'm talking about.
In 1988, Oprah Winfrey posed a significant question to 42-year-old Donald Trump, whether he would ever consider running for president. Trump's response during that time is a notable piece of history.
You took out a full-page ad in major U.S. newspapers last year criticizing U.S. foreign policy. What would you do differently, Donald?
I'd make our allies, forgetting about the enemies you can't talk to so easily, I'd make our allies pay their fair share. We're a debtor nation. Something's going to happen over the next number of years with this country, because you can't keep going on losing $200 billion, and yet we let Japan come in and dump everything right into our markets and everything. It's not free trade. If you ever go to Japan right now and try to sell something, forget about it, Albert. Just forget about it. It's almost impossible. They don't have laws against it. They just make it impossible. They come over here, they sell their cars, their VCRs, they knock the hell out of our companies. And hey, I have tremendous respect for the Japanese people. I mean, you can respect somebody that's beating the hell out of you, but they are beating the hell out of this country. Kuwait, they live like kings. The poorest person in Kuwait, they live like kings. And yet they're not paying. We make it possible for them to sell their oil. Why aren't they paying us 25% of what they're making? It's a joke.
This sounds like political presidential talk to me. And I know people have talked to you about whether or not you want to run. Would you ever?
Probably not. But I do get tired of seeing the country ripped off.
Why would you not?
I just don't think I really have the inclination to do it. I love what I'm doing. I really like it.
Also, it doesn't pay as well.
No, it doesn't. But, you know, I just probably...
She love him though. But you ask her right now, he is the most racist, hateful person on this planet.
Wouldn't do it, Oprah. I probably wouldn't, but I do get tired of seeing what's happening with this country. And if it got so bad, I would never want to rule it out totally, because I really am tired of seeing what's happening with this country, how we're really making other people live like kings, and we're not.
What do you think of this year's presidential race? The way it's shaping up.
Well, it's going to be very interesting. I think that probably George Bush has an advantage in terms of the election. I think that probably people would say that he's got like that little edge in terms of the incumbency, et cetera, et cetera. But I think Jesse Jackson's done himself very proud.
Speaking of Jesse Jackson, I believe that was the year that Donald Trump put up money to support him or to endorse him. Jesse Jackson black, last time I checked.
I think Michael Dukakis has done one hell of a job, and George Bush has done a hell of a job. You know, they all went in there sort of as semi-underdogs, including George Bush, and they've all come out. I think people that are around all three of those candidates can be very proud of the jobs they've done.
You've said, though, that if you did run for president, you believe you'd win.
Well, I don't know. I think I'd win. I tell you what, I wouldn't go in to lose. I've never gone in to lose in my life. And if I did decide to do it, I think I'd be inclined. I would say that I would have a hell of a chance of winning, because I think people, I don't know how your audience feels, but I think people are tired of seeing the United States ripped off. And I can't promise you everything, but I can tell you one thing. This country would make one hell of a lot of money from those people that for 25 years have taken advantage. It wouldn't be the way it's been, believe me.
It's evident that Donald Trump has maintained his consistent beliefs since as far back as 1988 through 2016 and even today. During those early...
And keep in mind, again, this is when the media love this dude. Same consistent beliefs up until today or 2016. Now all of a sudden they hate him.
Years, the media generally loved Donald Trump. However, as soon as he aligned with the Republican Party in the 2010s, the media's perception of him drastically shifted. They began to falsely accuse Trump of constantly changing his positions, flip-flopping, and being inconsistent. But in reality, Trump has remained steadfast in his views, essential for understanding his consistency.
Europe now, they're taking advantage of us at a level that nobody's ever seen. As an example, in Ukraine, so we're in for 150 billion. Now, you know that it's much more important for Europe than us, but we want to see people live, etc. But we're in for 150 billion and Europe's in for 17 billion. If you add Europe up, if you add all the various countries, they're approximately the same size economy. So I say, why aren't they in for the same number or more? I mean, in theory and more. So they should equalize. They should come up and they should equalize. They've got plenty, but I don't think anybody from the Biden administration's ever is. If you ask them, if I said to them, listen, we're in for 100 billion more than you. You have to put up the next 100 billion. We have to equalize. Otherwise, we're not going to do it. They'll put up the money, but nobody ever asks. Same thing with NATO. We were way over our heads in NATO. Many of the countries weren't paying. They were delinquent. Only 8 of the 28 countries were current. We were way current. We were paying 3-4 times what we were supposed to. We were carrying it. And when I went in, I looked and I said, you're going to have to all pay or we're not going to protect you any longer. And I remember the head of a country stood up and said, does that mean that if Russia attacks my country, you will not be there? That's right. That's what it means. I will not protect you. And the money came. The money came pouring in.
In general, Donald Trump has been known for his outspoken nature and firm stances on various issues, including immigration, trade, and national security. Throughout his political career, he has emphasized themes such as America First, border security, economic nationalism, and skepticism towards international agreements and organizations. It's indeed noteworthy that Donald Trump has maintained consistency in his messaging over several decades, going as far back as the 1980s. Despite the accusations of being a phony or changing his positions, a thorough examination of his past interviews reveals a remarkable level of consistency in his beliefs and viewpoints. Regardless of one's stance on Trump's consistency, it's clear that his unwavering messaging has left a significant impact on his supporters and critics alike. I'd love to know your thoughts on this.
Now watch another young Donald Trump who says what it actually takes to be president and what that would look like in real time and what would happen.
For some people, the ultimate goal in life has been becoming the president of the United States. Would you like to be the president of the United States?
I really don't believe I would run it, but I would like to see somebody as the president who could do the job, and there are very capable people in this country.
Most people who are capable are not running for office. Most men are frightened of politics today.
It is a shame, isn't it?
Yes.
It is a shame. The most capable people are not necessarily running for political office, and that is a very sad commentary on the country. They had major corporations and they had this and that, but they are not running for political office.
Why wouldn't someone like yourself run for political office? You have all the money that
Listen.
you possibly need. You've accomplished a great deal, even though you are only 34. I know there's a lot of things that you possibly can do in the years ahead. Why wouldn't you dedicate yourself to public service?
Because I think it's a very mean life. I would love and I would dedicate my life to this country, but I see it as being a mean life, and I also see it as somebody with strong views. And somebody with the kind of views that are maybe a little bit unpopular, which may be right, but may be unpopular, wouldn't necessarily have a chance of getting elected against somebody with no great brain but a big smile. And that's a sad commentary for the political process.
Television, in a strange way, has ruined that process, hasn't it?
It's hurt the process very much. I mean, the Abraham Lincolns of the world. Abraham Lincoln would probably not be electable today because of television. He was not a handsome man, and he did not smile.
Would you ever run for politics, or would you worry about them going after your life? I mean, messing up your life, messing up you too. How would you feel if he went into politics?
I think he would do terrific.
You know, there's a certain dishonesty, unfortunately, that you need for running for office. Now, it's an unfortunate thing, but you would know this perhaps better than anybody in the world, right?
I've coached a few.
I'm a pretty straight guy, and I'm not sure that somebody that really calls it like it is and says this is what you have to do, I'm not sure that kind of a guy gets elected. Maybe so, maybe not. Everybody wants me to do it. They all want me to run. But I would take a much harder stand. I'd take a much more difficult stand, I would say. Make a couple of enemies. I think I'd make a lot of friends, ultimately. But I'm not sure that type of person is really electable.
Shoot, so off top, bro, he already knew what it would come with and what it would take. But the real question that we need to be asked is, why did the media change its stance? Because it's been rumored for years that he was going to do this. But he was so racist. The stuff that he's saying now, he would said that then, the media would not have loved him. So those are the questions we need to be asking. Because people like John Legend and a lot of these black artists, they're not going to be honest, bro. They are puppets. They are puppets. They are used by the upper elites, the upper echelons, whatever you want to call them, to do their bidding, to convince the black people to continue to vote this way, bro. And so, and at the end of the day, John Legend needs to worry about his wife. Y'all do some research into that. But yeah, that's the question that we need to ask, bro. Why do they hate him now? And why did they not hate him then? Because he was saying the same stuff that he was then that he is today. But yo, let me know what y'all think down in the comments, man. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Peace, love. I'm out.
Sweated to the truth, nothing but the truth. Put my hands on the Bible, y'all point me to the booth.